Legendary status. Vic XL, Sam Pisa, aka TF. Where y'all gonna learn, man? You can't stop what's inevitable. It's the incredible. PZ, AKTF, dropping jewels, but they edible. I ate my vegetables, but he ate my spinach. Riding with Vic again, so no, we ain't finished. Legendary status, so no, you cannot copy. Riding dirty radio, so crispy, also sloppy. Instant to the street, so we know just what is needed. But keep it underground, staying down, cause we ain't greedy. This is where you find what is popping for the culture, where we keeping it all fresh and stay away from all the vultures. No scavengers here, just keeping it real. Vic got it out the mud, but it's still so clear. So sit back, relax, and just let us lead you. If you trolling for no reason, then we don't need you. It's Vic XL, he can't be stopped. Riding dirty forever, the home of real hip hop.
Ride dirty, dog, and y'all can't harm me. I'm living fly in the sky with the stars. Ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty. How you ride dirty, dog, and y'all can't harm me. I'm living fly in the sky with the stars. Ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty.
Needed. Keep it underground, staying down, cause we ain't greedy. This is where you find what is popping for the culture, where we keeping it all fresh and stay away from all the vultures. No scavengers here, just keeping it real. Vic got it out the mud, but it's still so clear. So sit back, relax, and just let us lead you. If you trolling for no reason, then we don't need you. It's Vic XL, he can't be stopped. Riding dirty forever, the home of real hip hop.
Ride dirty, dog, and y'all can't harm me. I'm living fly in the sky with the stars. Ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty. Ride dirty, dog, and y'all can't harm me. I'm living fly in the sky with the stars. Ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty.
What up, world? It's your boy Vic XL. This is the Riding Dirty Show, where we bridge the gap between hip hop and everyday life. Got to start the show out by saying one time for the good people over at WRFG 89.3 FM Atlanta, FM radio home for the past 15 plus years. Please check us out every Thursday night, Friday morning from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Also got to say one time for the good people over at Live365.com. Last year in 2020, we partnered up with Live365.com and we were able to launch our very own media-based tracking internet radio station. Now, that means any artist whose music is properly registered, who are played on any of the affiliate stations at Live365 will receive points and credits towards royalties for the music being played. All right, now the way to access our station is easy. All you got to do is all you got to do is log in to Live365.com. Once you log in to Live365.com, go to the search engine. In the search engine, be sure to type in Ride95, our station name, Ride95. That's R-I-D-E, the number 9, the number 5. Okay? Click on the station logo, and you'll have music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Now, if you want to check us out via your mobile device, it's also just as easy. All you got to do is download the Live365 app, go to the search engine, type in Ride95, click on that station logo, and voila, music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. All right? Check us out, check us out, check us out. All right, now, I want to say one time to all the streaming services, streaming sites out there that actually carry the Riding Dirty Show in our interviews. All right, one time to Podomatic, one time to Buzzsprout, one time to Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. We on Facebook Live. Everywhere that gives us a platform to stream our interviews. One time for you guys, you're working very, very hard to make these platforms available for all us content creators. And I definitely do appreciate you, all right? I also got to say one time for my beautiful wife on the check-in, as always. All right, ladies and boys and girls, we're going to keep the shout. Y'all know what it is with the Riding Dirty Show. We're the platform for the voiceless. We're the people who give you We're the platform that give you the opportunity to tell your story, whether it's through arts, entertainment, whether it's through philanthropism, entrepreneurship, religion. If you have a story to tell, we are the platform for you to tell your story. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Riding Dirty Show, the Riding Dirty platform, Alabama artist, OG Kilo. What's going on, my G?
What's happening, man? What's good with you, bro?
Man, trying to maintain.
Excited to be on.
Maintain. All right, look, let me start out by saying, sir, I'm humbly appreciative of you taking this opportunity to come on the show to talk to my people, my listeners, my viewers about yourself and introducing yourself to my little corner of the world.
Hey, man, I appreciate you bringing me on, man. You know, like I said, man, we all helping each other out, and I respect your platform too, man. You know, so appreciate you having me on so I could tell my side. You know, I'm out of Montgomery right now, originally from Brooklyn, New York. But, you know, I got a lot of shit going on. I went viral like a couple years ago in 2013. And I had some shit going, and then I just went on a hiatus. Like, I just stopped. I had to get some shit together, you know. Had to get some stuff together. So now I'm back at it, and I just dropped a couple new projects. They doing pretty good, you know what I'm saying? And I'm finna drop some more visuals because I got a mixtape I'm finna drop at the end of the year around September. Me and my group partner called Peso the Man. So, you know, I'm excited about that.
All right, let's go back. Let's bring them up to speed. All right, first and foremost, you're a Brooklyn native. And then you left Brooklyn for Alabama. Talk about the transition from New York to Alabama and what actually made that transition possible.
Well, you know, I got family that's in Alabama, and, you know, they had some land, and it's my great-grandparents. So, you know, in New York, we was like in the slums of New York. So we was like in Brooklyn, like Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and, you know, East New York. A lot of people know about East New York, you know what I'm saying? So when we came down, you know, a lot of it was just to make a new start. And so, you know, we had some land and stuff out there, but it was a big transition, though. I can't say that I didn't really see the whole plan with it at first. I was a little bit younger, but, you know, I see now, you know, because I'm able to make a way. And I don't know how things would have turned out if I would have stayed up there, like, you know what I'm saying, in that environment. So it was a big transition, you know, different. A whole lot of everything was different. The rap was different. How people dressed was different. How people talk was different. And I was different. So that made it better when it came to the music because I stood out. Everything I did stood out. And it's still like that, you know what I'm saying? So now when I go, it's like I got the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? I got the North and I got the South. So, you know, but it's been cool though. I like the South a lot. Everybody in the South, they like a lot more respectful. I say that, you know what I'm saying? Because in New York, man, people they don't really care.
All right. Now look, what was your introduction to music? Like, when did you realize you had a talent and you wanted to pursue the musical side of things?
Early on, when I was like 6, I started writing raps when I was 6. And then I made my first song when I was in the 3rd grade. I'll never forget. I was like 9 years old. And then, because like my folks, they had this desktop computer, and somehow I figured out how to make a way. I ain't gonna say the quality was just all that, but it was just my first, you know, time trying something. It just went from there. It was this program called Mixcraft. I mastered that. Then I got on Pro Tools a little bit later on. And then, like, the more I started doing the music, the better I got with it. I started doing my own mixing and mastering and learning the elements of the game, like, with that. And so by the time I was in high school, I had, you know, I knew how to make my own mixtape. I knew how to put a cover together. I knew how to put, like, everything to be an artist. I kind of had a basic blueprint, like, back then. So I was kind of like my own PR. So I knew, okay, I got to get myself out there besides the people that I know. You know what I'm saying? I got to generate some type of buzz. So I started looking into all that. And I just started building the buzz myself literally from the ground up when I was like 13, 14. And I got hundreds of songs, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm finna start releasing some new shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's been a minute since I started dropping some music, so I'm finna start back coming strong like how I was back then.
Okay. All right. Now, being an independent artist, but also being understanding that you got to do a lot of this stuff on your own, recording yourself, mixing your own music, creating your own graphics. Like, how hard was that for you to actually basically become a company? Because these are things that if you're on a label, someone take care of all this for you, but you're doing it for yourself. Like, how hard of a transition was that for a teenager?
I felt like it was like I had to do it because who else was gonna do it for me? And I knew like the quality, the idols that I looked up to, it wasn't no like half stepping it. It's not like, okay, I know I'm gonna have to do more than just rap. I'm gonna have to learn how to mix and master because I tried the studio thing, going to different studios and stuff like that. And what you always gonna come down to is people, they not gonna care about what you got going on like you care about what you got going on. People, they'll you know, if you'll send an engineer a song and if he want to take 3-4 months on it, he'll take 3-4 months on it. And I don't care about what your due date is and time. If he feel like he ain't got time for it, he might not do it. Same thing with people that shoot videos and all that. So I figure, I'm like, I don't want nobody else to control my career but me, because I feel like if I was doing that, I'm putting my career in their hands. So I ain't never want my career to be in nobody else's hands. So I felt like it's a must. So I was studying like crazy. Like I'm talking about, I spent countless hours on, you know, trying to figure out the mixing and stuff like that. And people, you know, stuff like people have to go to school to learn about frequencies and stuff like that. I learned how to master that by the time I was 17. And so like I'm 25 now, and there's so much that I didn't learn. It's literally nothing that besides like DJs and stuff like that, it's nothing that somebody can do that I don't know how to do now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Okay, so you're 25 years old. You start doing this as a teenager. I gotta ask, OG Kilo, how did that name come about, being that you're 25 years old?
Right. See, I had the name Kilo since I was young. That was like a childhood name. I tell you how I got that. When I was in New York and when I was in Alabama, it's two people. It's crazy because both of them was named Kilo, and I looked up to both of them, and both of them is like the epitome of like what I am now. Like how the people back in the day down south, they used to have like the speakers and the big rims. They still do it, but it was like heavy back then. And I always just had an infatuation with that because I always loved music. And so I was like, you know, and I was like real young. So I just started calling myself Kilo when I was like 8, 9, like young. You know what I'm saying? I barely not even knowing what a kilo or none of that. You know what I'm saying? But, and then as I got older, when I was like 19, 20, I had been through so much, not even just with the music, but, you know, I moved out of the crib early. I started, you know, a whole lot of stuff early. I did a lot of stuff young. I had to grow up fast, you know what I'm saying? So, and I got a lot of young people that look up to me. And to a degree, I am like they OG, you know? So that's where the whole OG thing came from. But I had the Kilo thing, that's been since I was a youngin'.
Okay. Now, when people listen to OG Kilo and they hear your music, what can you tell them to expect, or what will they get?
You're going to get a whole lot of storytelling, a whole lot of passion, and you're going to get lyricism, like real lyricism, and it's mixed with the melodic, you know, what's going on today, like the current times of what's going on today. Like I got a song called Legends Never Die that's on Detroit radio right now, and I was talking about DMX and all the other legends, but it's crazy how, like, you know, like when DMX died, people always want to, you know, give you your props and stuff after your death. They don't never want to like recognize it while you here. And I just felt like it's just so much fake love, and it just feel like that. So it's like I bought that out. So that's another point. Like you gonna hear a whole lot of different stuff, but it's still gonna be like you can hear it in the club. You know what I'm saying? You can hear it, you can ride and listen to it, and you can, if you that type of person when you alone, and you know what I'm saying, you smoking, you with God, that's that type of music to listen to. So it's a whole lot of storytelling, pain, passion, but it's a lot that my youngest get from it. So it's a lot that I'm gonna give it to the world. You did.
No doubt. Now, being that you have roots in the East Coast, being that you have done a lot of your footwork in the South, who are some of your idols? Who are some of the people that make you want to be the best artist possible?
I still listen to Big L, who's like a legendary New York rapper. I listen to old Jay Z, like the Reasonable Doubt Jay Z, the old Nas, the Illmatic, Big Pun, Big L. You know, those are like my inspiration. Cassidy, Papoose, like the people like that, the old battle rappers, Reed Dollars, like people like that. That rhyme pattern is what sparked my rhyme pattern when I was young. I didn't grow up with the nobody grew up, you know, that's my age with the Migo pattern back then, but how simple it is to make music now, the most complicated way to make a bar, those were the rappers that I looked up to because that's how I started rapping. That's who I imitated my rapping style like at first. So that's why I was so advanced. So, you know, those, and then for the down south, Lil Wayne, like that's just it. That Lil Wayne, because Lil Wayne is like he was the first rapper to do what everybody try to do now. He freestyle, but he'll punch in, and it'll sound like he didn't spend hours writing it, but he'll do it within like 15, 20 minutes. So that's some crazy shit. So, you know, those like my idols, people I look up to.
Okay. All right. Now, what does OG Kilo have in the works? Like, what are you currently working on?
I got a solo project called ADD, which means anxiety, drugs, and depression. That's about to drop. Me and my partner called.
Reach out and touch and broaden your fan base by using the World Wide Web and social media.
You know, when I went to Texas, the South by Southwest, it was a lot of people that I had already knew before I even touched down, like certain artists and stuff like that. The internet makes it easy for you to connect, you know. So I will say that is a good positive thing. Like a lot of artists and stuff like that, especially underground bubbling, especially if they got the same type of buzz that you got, then it's like a whole network. So, you know, with that, and then meeting other people like, you know, certain execs and people that be on radios and stuff like that. Like it was my boy that's in Boston. I got on a radio show with him before I even met him. That's another person I met in South by Southwest. So with the internet, I think it's just how you play it. You know, if you can use it for business, you can develop a lot of stuff. But you see what's going on with the baby, how it can turn against you. So at the same time, you got to play your cards right.
All right. Now, I'm glad you mentioned that. Speaking of the baby, because right now he's definitely, his career is taking a major hit, to say the least. How do you feel about that situation and the reaction of the masses and sponsors and people taking them off of festivals and different things like that? Like, what are your opinions as an artist when it comes to that situation?
See, I think cancel culture has become dangerous. It's a real dangerous thing. It started out as something good, like, yeah, if somebody doing something bad and they hire up, and, you know, you can call them out on it, and they can be held accountable. But now it's like I feel like people just way too sensitive now, because, yeah, I understand. Look, in Charlotte, when you get what he did when he was like on stage, because I saw the whole clip. If you actually watched the show and seen the whole clip, before you get on stage, you hyping the crowd up. You saying certain random things and certain like stuff like that. I don't think it was intended for him to just be malicious to that community. But you know, with that, he already gave an apology. What else you want him to do? You want him to give you $1 million? You can't give every gay person $1 million. And so I just feel like they now they trying to take it too far. You know what I'm saying? He said what he said. Yeah, you know, some of the stuff you could say it was insensitive or whatever, but he apologized for it. And I think, you know, people they just taking it too far, man.
Yeah, I believe that, and I agree with you. Like, you're doing the show, you're hyping the crowd, and it's called call and response. You're calling out something and you're getting a response. I don't think that his intent was anything negative other than to hype the crowd. And I think now that people are I think we have people that are offended by what he was saying who don't even listen to the baby's music. And they're affecting now how he feed his family. And it's almost like, okay, you make a mistake, and now we want you to not even be able to feed your family by your God-given talent because you made a mistake. And that I don't think is right. So I agree with you, man. The council culture is getting dangerous.
Yeah, they want you on your knees, man. It's not enough for an apology. It's even if he did start a charity where he gave some money to gay folks, they still gonna try to cancel him. They want you on your knees and losing all your money, and they just want you by the nuts, man. You know what I'm saying, for lack of better words. So it's kind of sad in a way, but I think Bro gonna bounce back. You know, it's not like how it was in 2007 when how everything somebody did was just like how the whole Chris Brown thing, even though that was bad. You know, if something like that happened with him now, yeah, it would be as bad. But with how the internet is, how people forget and how stuff is so quick now, I think people will cancel it, but all he got to do is just come out with something else and do something else that's big, and people forget about it.
Yeah. We have short memories.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how it is now.
Janet Jackson said it best back in the day. What have you done for me lately? Do a couple good things and forget about the bad. He didn't kill nobody, and even if he killed somebody, we just live in a culture now. We live in a culture now that, hey man, it's what have you done lately? Okay, you said this. He go out and make a hot record, become #1 on the chart. They won't even be talking about this anymore.
Exactly, man. All you gotta do is just come out with a new dance. You know what I'm saying? Put something else on TikTok. Get something else going, and then, you know, yeah, you still gonna have certain lingering people that they ain't gonna forget now. They still gonna want him to, you know, lose all his endorsements and stuff like that. But man, I think he'll be straight. But as an artist, though, that let me know, like, people sensitive. So I can't, how people talk, how we talk in the barbershop, how we talk, like, you know, in the rooms and stuff like that. You can't really be like that, like out in public, because people, they too sensitive now. You might mess around and lose some money, some bags. They ain't worth it.
Definitely. All right, real quick, man, before I let you go. Let's talk about the Alabama music scene. What's the Alabama hip hop scene, to be exact? What's the Alabama hip hop scene looking like, and what is the world missing?
Yeah, Alabama. Look, you had Doe B. That was the first artist out of Alabama to actually like blow on a national level, and he got killed early. You know what I'm saying? That's sad. But you had him. You got artists like Rubber Band OG, DA. You know, they out of Montgomery. They been doing their thing, but now they starting to blow up on a bigger level now. Rap guy. You got people like Young Blue that signed the Lil Boosie label, Honeycomb Brazy, you know, Lil Bam, Big Yavo, Lil Soldier. You got TLE Cinco. So Alabama's starting to do something, and it's surprising me because, like, a couple years ago, you ain't hear nothing from Alabama at all. Like, everybody thought Alabama was still like some trees, like just on some country stuff. Like, people, even in New York, people still talk about Alabama like everybody down there cowboy. You know what I'm saying? Out of ignorance. It's really people that think like that. But now it's like people putting it on the map, and I respect it. So I think in a couple of years, you know, if it keep going like how it's going, you might see Alabama being in New Atlanta. I don't know. If people come together, it could be something big.
Yeah, there's been talented people. I remember a group from Alabama. This is way, you probably weren't even born, but it was a group out of Alabama, one of the first groups I heard here in Atlanta, called Deuce Comrades. They actually had a buzz in the early 2000s. Or you had Dirty, who had a buzz in the early 2000s, Kenny Thomas. Mm-hmm. So there's always been Alabama artists. Rich Boy, yeah, #1 in the country back in the day. Alabama's always been quiet as kept. You know, has some very, very talented spitters down there. It's just, I don't know why, just a big national spotlight. It's like they pick one artist at a time. And eventually I can see, you know, Alabama just busting down the door and about 5 or 6 artists busting through on a national level.
Exactly. Yeah, man. I think, you know, people just got to come together more, which I'm starting to see that. It's an artist that's out of Prattville, out the city that I'm in now. That I guarantee y'all probably ain't even heard of, but it's an artist named Lil JoJo that's actually doing something. And so whenever I see credit, I give credit what credit due. Like, if you from Prattville and you doing something, you got something going on, there's some people that know about you, that's doing something, because Prattville is so small, and it's like, that's not on the map at all. People know about Montgomery. Yeah, it's to the point, if you from Prattville, if you get on the big interview, you might have to say you from Montgomery, or you might have to explain what Prattville is. So for somebody to be from there and to be doing something, to be young, I salute, you know?
Yeah, I was just in Alabama this weekend. I was in Birmingham.
Yeah, I be in the Ham a lot, man. In the Galleria area, you know what I'm saying? When I go shopping and stuff like that. You know, I mess with the Ham, man. I mess with the Ham a lot.
Yeah,
You know, I mess with the A too.
No doubt. All right, so look, let the people know real quick before I let you run how to find you on social media.
You follow me on Instagram at OG__Kilo. You follow my SoundCloud at OG Kilo. You can Google OG Kilo. You're gonna see articles, and you'll know all my social media. My Twitter is the only thing that's not OG Kilo is my Twitter, and that's Kid X Kilo. And my YouTube that I be dropping my videos on is OG Vision TV. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it again, OG Vision TV. I got weekly stuff on my SoundCloud, and I'm finna have monthly videos on my YouTube. So that's where you can hear some of my latest content.
Okay. All right, real quick. The joint I'm about to play is called Love Scars. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, you know, it's like a relatable type of song that I felt like everybody could, you know, everybody had love scars. Everybody got a sob story or something that happened to them in the past, toxic relationships, something like that, the way you can relate to. So I just wanted to do something that was different. And now, you know, I'm almost at, it's almost at what, 11 or 12K on SoundCloud. So, you know, I'm real excited about that. I'm hoping it do, you know, more numbers, but it's talking about, you know, basically just teenage love problems and adult love problems and, you know, whatever you be going through. And I got the sample at the beginning where they was talking about macking and hanging from The Wood, you know, that movie The Wood. And now they was like, you know, I think we should play this game for life, macking and hanging. That's pretty much what every man want to do. Every man want to be hanging for life.
No
but
doubt.
you know, everybody want that companionship too. So you gonna want to settle down. So it's something for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. All right, my G, do me a favor. First of all, again, thank you for coming on the platform. Introduce your record to the world.
Yeah, man. This is OG Kilo, Love Scars. You're now in tune with Riding Dirty Radio. And, you know, this is going to be the hit of the year. I hope y'all enjoy it.
Appreciate it, my G.